tuning into the Encountered Culture.
I'd rather be drinking with my friends. When we go out, you'll never see us again.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live. I've got Nick with me as always. Now, you're asking yourself, why is this guy wearing sunglasses inside? Well, I don't know, folks. Maybe it's because of how bright these neon lights are from Hasbro Pulsecon 2024. All right, sometimes that's all it's about. No, but seriously,
No, it was a strip joint.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so today we had the Hasbro Pulsecon stream for 2024. They had some nice reveals for the day, went over some stuff. Nick hasn't watched this yet, and he's only seen a few things. So, part of this will be good to kind of see your reaction and what you think about the reveals for the day. But also, like, what as like somebody who watched it live as a spectator live for it, less than I thought were going to be revealed. Good things revealed, but less items than I thought. And I think that was all around from every brand. Everything kind of had a small window to work with, and they just announced a few things, but some good Marvel stuff. So we'll get into it.
Hey, I'll take less is more, honestly. Like, as long as it's good stuff versus crap I don't want. Give me less, but give me what I want.
That's a good point too, right? Like, less is more sometimes, and this could be that kind of reveal.
All right, let's go.
Starting off the day, they got into all right. So, for instance, as a Pulse Premium member, they sent us an email yesterday saying that they would have a pre-show. They would send out a link for a pre-show for Pulse Premium members. If you wanted to join, you click the register, they'd send you a Zoom link. Spots are limited, et cetera, right? So it's getting close to noon. I still haven't received this email, right? I never received it. I go into like the main YouTube stream chat, right? So everybody, there's like 400 people in there an hour before it's supposed to start. Most of them are also Pulse Premium members, trying to figure out why they haven't received the link either. So apparently there was a whole debacle with getting that link out to some members. Thankfully, from what I've heard from people who were in it, it wasn't a whole lot. You didn't miss much if you weren't there. They did have a couple of teases, but nothing, I wouldn't say nothing significant, right? So everything leaked immediately following anyway. So if you weren't there, you got it almost immediately.
Okay.
Part of that was so during San Diego Comic-Con, they announced that ROM, the Space Knight, would be coming down the line at some point. So today, during that fan pre-show that not everybody was able to get into, they did show part of the prototype. So you'll see. So when the figure actually comes out, it won't be red and silver, right? It'll look more like the digital render on the other side there. But they did show off kind of where they are in the process of this figure and basically how it's going to look, at least body-wise.
That's cool. I like the bulkiness. Kind of looks like a Transformer, so they're probably just reusing parts from Transformers. I do like that red translucent plastic.
Yeah, right. No, but you're not going to get it, Nick. So put that aside. No translucent plastic for you on this one.
It's going to show up in a Power Rangers line at Ollie's.
So it'll be interesting to see how that looks at. Yeah, like, I like it. Rom's a random character, so I'm looking forward to it when we eventually get it and seeing how it's going to look. Obviously we have the render here, so that's essentially what it'll look like. But yeah. Additionally, with the kind of the run up to PulseCon, on the webpage, they had these giveaways, right? So each brand had its own giveaways, and apparently it was different for members versus non-members. Makes sense, right? Why not offer something a little bit better to your members? But it was cool, though. They were also allowing non-Pulse Premium members to get into some kind of giveaway. So the Marvel Legends things, though, for at least for the members. So when I logged in to the website, I saw Galactus, right? So Galactus was there as the enter the giveaway. You could win a Galactus.
Oh, damn.
All right, hey, that's pretty sweet, man. So of course I entered. I got a in one of the group chats I'm in, somebody had sent a link about the giveaways. So when that it opened in a separate browser, which I wasn't logged into, it showed a different set of giveaways, right? So Kang, the new Kang, was the giveaway for non-members. From what I can, ascertain from that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Well,
cool that they're offering the giveaways.
I feel like they should give away at least one Galactus every. I mean, like, come on, why not? That should be.
I agree with you, man. Like every year, if they're gonna do these giveaways, how cool would it be if it's a HasLab? And like so for Star Wars, for instance, they had a Razor Crest, but it looked like the Razor Crest was the giveaway for both members and non-members. So I'm not sure why the Legends thing was different. And I didn't look at all the other brands because like I don't particularly care about like what Transformers was given away or most of the other brands, right? And there was no Ghostbusters stuff today either. So it was strictly for me, it was looking at what the Legends stuff was going on, right? I was a little saddened that there was no Ghostbusters stuff, but I think we're gonna get some stuff next month. So
there's not like a tiered like membership, right?
No, it's a one thing. So it's like $50 a year for Pulse Premium, and that's it. You don't have any choice otherwise, right? So it's either do it or don't.
Yeah, it seems like it was random based on what you were saying with the links you were given, but I would be pretty pissed if I got the Kang versus instead of Galactus.
Well, yeah, if you entered for Galactus and you end up with a Kang, yeah, I think you'd be a little upset. I mean, it's free, but yeah, you a little disappointed for sure. But yeah, so
yep.
Nick, I did enter you. I put your email to win a G.I. Joe Hiss tank. So if a random Hiss tank shows up at your doorstep, that's why. All right.
Oh, sweet. I would be like, look at this thing that should be $25.
And it was free. All right. Speaking of Kang, though, so Kang also that did go up for pre-order today. You're welcome. You're welcome. Kang did go up for pre-order today. Pulse exclusive. So it looks cool. It was like $60. So it does come with this awesome looking hover chair, which is pretty sweet. It also, what I really like about this is the Kang comes with interchangeable faceplates. So it comes, you essentially could have variants of Kang, right? As there are throughout Marvel Comics. There's just faceplate. Instead of a full head, you can just pop the face off. Kind of, I guess, similar to like the Galactus HasLab, right? How you can interchange those faceplates, just shrunk into a smaller scale, right? So, pretty cool. So, I mean, I ordered one, even though I have like the previous Kang from the Joe Fixit wave. Having the chair kind of adds a nice little touch to it, and since I'm probably not going to have two regular Kangs, at least now I can have a variant Kang, right? So these are the ways I convince myself to do this, even though I don't really need to do a whole lot of convincing. It's going to happen anyway, but you know.
Twist your arm, right?
Exactly.
But so the giveaway picture, it looked like he had some kind of like blaster ray. Is that part of that too?
It is. So he comes with the large gun, and it has a nice new effect on it as well.
Like electrical discharge.
Almost, yeah. It is like a blue sort of electrical blast, almost. Really cool looking effect. So I do hope that we see that more and more.
And it's funny because in at least the movies, I don't think you see Kang use a gun ever. Doesn't he just use like his power? Like he's like manipulation.
Yeah, but in the comics he does have that, so that's
I like the original Joe Fixit one came with two guns. They're awesome. So yeah,
and this one, the new one's better, because it's bigger. It's a bigger, better gun. So it's cool. Boom, exactly. All right, now getting into what was actually revealed for the day. So this one, like a half surprise, right? There were pictures floating around like Reddit and Facebook groups and everything with Vulture, this animated Vulture, and speculation of, is that real or is that a custom? What are we looking at here? So first thing they announced that hadn't been previously talked about. So Vulture, Spider-Man VHS 2-pack, right?
I like it. Is that it? Is there come with extra head or
Yeah,
extra
so
hands?
I got a
Or-
few more pictures here I'll
Oh,
show
sorry.
you, but one thing they did mention though, like this may be, at least for now, this is the end of the VHS 2-packs. They literally in quoting, they are putting a bow on it for now, right? So
Put a pin in it.
put a
Um,
pin in it, see what happens.
So that's fine. Okay, so stop giving me 2-packs and just put them on retro cards. This isn't complicated, people. Come on.
Exactly. I think the VHS packs were like sort of that, let's get away from plastic, and then they carried it on because they do look, I I don't know. I guess if you're an inbox collector for whatever reason with these, like it does have like a display ability to it, right? Because it just looks like VHS tapes, and I can kind of get that, but as a loose collector, who cares? So it's like that's fine. Let's put the bow on it. Let's move on. The disappointment on my end though is like I really wanted the Punisher and the Blade
Yeah,
from
man, those
from
are
the animated
very
series.
unique versions of those two, especially the Blade. Like, I was gonna say that, and you just said it. So, yeah, 100% agree there.
So that's, I guess, the only sort of disappointment. But on the flip side of the coin, there, it's not that like they have to completely end it, right? Maybe they take a year or two off or whatever, and then they just kind of release one here and there. It's not something that they need to do several a year of, it just be one of the a one off here and there, and
Yep.
then they could do it. Or like you said, just go back to the retro card. That's a popular thing. People love the retro card. If you're gonna do it, that's fine. I mean, they seem to like flip flop between animated series, comic, and whatever on those retro cards anyway. So at the end of the day, as long as I get that Punisher, I think I'm okay. And then it's a moot point by then. So who cares?
Yeah, so like at least with those, like I don't know. I think like you say, it would be cool display wise, maybe to have all of the VHS boxes like behind your display. But
Yeah,
now the displays are going to be incomplete because they're not going to do it. I also feel like 2-packs, like they should have been. There's characters we needed, but like should have been Vulture and maybe like I don't know, like a new Norman Osborn or something. I don't know. Or like you say, you can put Blade or Punisher in there. You
yeah.
got a villain, and we all have our Spider-Man, and at least is this the Spider-Man from that pack?
It is. It is. Yeah.
So,
So
like it looks good. I like it. I like the alternate heads. I like I guess that's a helm mask off thing or something.
yeah,
He's holding the mask. So that's neat. But like again, if you put just that right there on a retro card, it would sell easily, very
yeah,
very easy.
absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you're trying to like hide it behind this 2-pack, and I do like that Vulture. I like the whole look of the armor and everything. Kind of has almost like a Banshee look in a way. Yeah,
So
stick with retros.
yeah, I agree. Stick with the retros, right? It's a popular item. People like it, so do what works. The
And
Spider-Man, like the Spider-Man looks good from afar, right? Like the color, I like the choice of blue. It's a nice lighter blue color. Um,
big eyes
the
on the mask look
it,
good too.
it does have it. I mean, they're not the big. I mean, they go to the animated series, right? So they are big eyes. They're not. We still need. I still want like those big McFarlane eyes. It's not going to be from the animated series, so but something down the line eventually. But these eyes look great. They're a nice size. They look it looks like the animated series. The buck was the issue for a lot of people, right? So you would think like we had the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man, which is Amazing Fantasy is probably my favorite Spider-Man buck, but Renew Your Vows is a great body, especially for articulation, right? So this one does go back to it's like a sort of modified Sunfire buck, almost like the Hydra Bob from the 2-pack repainted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it does have some older articulation. It is pinless, so people will like that. that all aside, I mean, I think it still looks like a great Spider-Man. It's if people don't have a classic Spider-Man in their display,
There you go.
there you go, right? The flip side of that is that it's locked in this 2-pack.
Yep.
But what I do really like about this is you have the unmasking head, right? So he's like taking the mask off. He can hold that in the hand. And then he's got the 3 heads total, the 2 alternate heads. So you get the Peter Parker, but you also get a Flash Thompson head, right? So that's pretty cool in and of itself. We have a lot of Spider-Man figures, so I'm not too upset about the body, the buck on this one. It's just going to be another Spider-Man in the display. So,
yep, with a few extra like flares, like you said. That,
exactly.
Yeah, so I'm saying this is like ripe for just the retro card. A couple extra heads.
Yeah.
You know, there it is, right there. Oh,
yeah.
Put it right around that. I mean, like, come on. It looks like they even have it set up for that, and they're like, "Nah, put it in the 2-pack."
Change of plans, guys. We got a 2-pack. We got to get that out. So just throw it in there.
Wouldn't surprise me. See that? Oh, okay. So we get an alternate.
So you get like the young head and the old head.
I'm a sucker for like the wings. It's just that looks cool. It's a lot more blue in that picture too, like bluish.
It's like a teal almost, right?
Yeah,
a little bit more teal than green.
But yeah, I like it. I like the look. It honestly, like looking at it, looks more like something from DC, like almost like a Hawkman in a way.
I do wish I guess the only thing is like I wish that they came up with new wings, right? Personally, it's not a big deal to me. I'm gonna find I don't even know if I'm gonna keep this, honestly. I don't know. You know, I don't have like an animated display, and I like the Vulture that I currently have. So
the old Vulture from the 2-pack, right?
Yeah.
Liver spot Vulture.
Yeah, liver spot Vulture. Yeah.
I like it. So okay, so you say you don't like the wings. What design would you like to see? Would you like to see like a more mechanical?
I guess more, yeah, a little bit more detailed, I guess.
Gotcha.
I get it. These are exactly the same wings we got with that older Vulture and
Falcon,
with Falcon.
and yep, exactly. So I don't know. I guess to me, like it's more of because it's a 3-piece thing, right? It goes under the armpits, on the elbow, and then the main piece on the wrist.
Yeah,
I guess that's cool. So it allows for a lot of posability. So I guess that's where I don't have a lot of complaints with it because it actually works well. At least on like because I have the other 2 Vultures as well. The one from the what is it? The Ultimate Spider-Man one too has the same kind of wings.
No, that's the one that has like the more like that's the one that actually has the different wings.
You're right. That's like the one with the metallic wings. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I guess do maybe a more updated version of that, something a little beefier.
Yeah, a little something.
Mm-hmm.
And then so that there rumors were going around. I think everybody was well aware that we were going to get the Secret Wars wave announced by this point, right? So aside from like we get into Secret Wars, of course, the Spider-Man VHS 2-pack was pretty much the only other reveal, right? And then we get into these. There's also a fan vote going on, and I'll get into that later. But essentially, towards the beginning of the Marvel Legends panel, they put up a poll. People could choose: do you want Dwight's favorite character, Ryan's favorite character, or Dan's favorite character? Right. So your Marvel Legends team, pick which one you want, and whoever wins, from that poll, they'll reveal what figure it was. So it's going to be a fan vote figure. You had 3 choices, mystery choices, right?
Not a fan vote. That's
you're basically guessing based on who you like the most out of those 3 guys, right? Is what it boils down to.
It's not a fan vote. That's a fanboy vote.
That's exactly right. So
no, sorry. It should you could at least tell me who the figure would be before I vote for it. That's bullshit.
Yeah. So I'll get into that.
I mean, bro.
I'll get into that after this, but I have feelings as well about that. But before we get there, let's get into Secret Wars, right? Oh, Justin is here though. He did say he's a sucker for these animated series figures, and I agree, man. It's just the nostalgia, and that, you know, as much as like I don't have a place to display them, like I still keep most of them because eventually I think I'll have a place to display them, right? And that's, I guess, part of the collector problem, right? Is like, well, I can't display them now, but I will, you know, and that essentially what hoarders tell themselves when they just throw garbage on the ground. It's just more organized hoarding, if you will. So, uh, but we did get these Secret Wars figures announced, which I'm so glad they went with these retro cards. They look great. They look like if you, I'm gonna pull up a different screen here, but if you look at like the classic, it'll eventually pull up. If you look at the classic Secret Wars cards, they did such a good job in recreating that. And to me, that was something like super nice, super nostalgic. So very cool looking there. So I do, I do appreciate that.
Yeah, I do like that they're recreating those cards. It really does hit the nostalgia button for sure. So are those stands in
No,
the see and
no.
like
So
what is this?
they, so I'll move on to the next one because it kind
Oh,
of gives
sorry.
you a no, you're good. So they put like the lenticular shields in, right, with each character, just like they did in the 80s versions of these.
Okay.
And then you'll see like this little the black square here with Secret Wars on. That's just an interchangeable piece. So if you want to take the lenticular part out of there, you can just replace it with the Secret Wars one.
Oh, okay. I like it. See, that's kind of cool.
So we get Beyonder, right? So a new character, Disco Beyonder,
Yeah.
right? So
Disco
the average
Dazzler.
person is going to see this and be like, what the hell is this? Why do I want that? And that's fine. This, not everything's for everybody, right? So I'm just happy to get a new character, happy to get Beyonder because he is like the big bad in the beginning of Secret Wars and throughout, right? So to be able to get him, even though it is a silly costume, I mean, it's from the time, right? So it's accurate
Yeah.
to what it was.
And a newly sculpted what is that, a fire poop effect, I think?
Yes, a newly sculpted. It looks like a virus, but
I like it. And I think it's cool too for the little frame thing, because you could easily reuse that. Maybe have like the Thing throwing it, or somebody like
yeah,
throwing like a metal piece. Like just turn it sideways. It would look like hopefully like a piece of, I don't know, building or metal, right?
yeah. I'm sure you could come up with many things. They're probably just going to end up in a box for me, but yes, there are things you could do with those. Chris,
Loving
what's
that
up, bro?
shit-eating grin too.
Yeah. Yeah, you do get a shit-eating grin. So, you got to love that when that happens. So, what I did like, I mean, and you'll see like all of these figures are actually pretty packed with stuff. So, it's a retro carded wave, no build a figure, but as far as like things it comes with, I mean, yeah, some of it you're not going to be displaying, right? Like maybe you're not displaying the lenticular shields, but it's still something. And some people are, and that is a callback, right? So very cool. We do have some new effects in here, right? You got the effect there, which is seemingly new. I mean, I don't recognize that from anything else. So that,
Nope.
to me, that's pretty cool.
That looks like something you'd find under a desk.
It's definitely like it's like a little dust ball covered with like
Just like
Cheetos
gum,
and gum. So
Yeah.
some hair in there and a bug.
So are the characters supposed to hold like their shield?
Yes. So
It
each of the
has like
shields have
on the
that
back?
clip,
Okay.
that shitty clip on the back,
Oh, lovely.
that we all love so much. Yes.
Okay,
But
it's
all
back.
right. So we got one new character in Beyonder. We get a second new character in Titania, right? So
Which people have been asking for forever.
absolutely. And look, she's actually, as far as all of the figures in the wave, she's the most devoid of like accessories. But honestly, I mean, she looks good. There are some things like the design. This tea and lavender probably shouldn't be there, right? It should just be open. But it's the era we're in, I suppose.
So this one I don't have complaints about. This I like this one. I like it that it's angry face. It's just she's gonna beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, she will do
And
that.
yeah, the spikes is very. I like it. It's great for that like '90s feel. I'm down. I'm definitely getting that one. I think.
Of course, we do get our mandatory Iron Man in this wave, right? It's,
Roller skates.
yes, so that was part in Secret Wars. That was a thing, right? And we've only got what Dazzler is our only other roller skater right now, right? So you can open up your own Marvel Legends roller rink because these roller skates, as Dan Who pointed out earlier, they'll clip on to any figure.
Yeah, go right into the feet.
Do whatever you want. You buy 10 of these, you can have 10 roller skating figures. So
great, thanks, Dan. What about that accessory pack that we've been asking for
no accessory packs,
years?
but you do get roller skates that you can put on any figure that they'll fit on.
That's great.
So AI Iron Man, right, that we got back in the Mr. Hyde wave, right? Pinless though, so a little bit of an update. Does come with some additional stuff, so you do get some good stuff packed in there. You get this good blaster, which was a callback to the original toy line. So, I mean, do I need another Iron Man? I never need another Iron Man, and I usually skip Iron Man figures. I did order this one though because I just kind of want to see how it looks, and I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but I honestly I could skip this Iron Man, but
yeah, it is derivative of, like you said, the Mr. Hyde one. So now this one is circular. It's little shield thing. Do all the pieces fit together to make something? No.
So the good guys have circular shields, and the bad guys have like square shields. So
okay.
As
I know you said as a throwback, yeah. I just
as we potentially get more waves of these in this wave, it's mostly good guys. So you're only getting 2 with the square shields, but as we get more waves of these, then it should hope maybe even out or at least get a little bit more. But yeah, so that's why. So the good guys have circular shields, the bad guys square.
I like that. That's cool. I would rather it be spent on either more unique like accessories or blast effects or whatever, or a potential stand for these characters. Where are these like little plastic stands that you guys have on all these streams, or you won't sell them to me?
That's a good point, man. Like you see, like when they go to Comic-Con and have displays up, like they're always on stands. I'm like,
yeah, and it's like a little clear surfboard, and I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
Because like I have stands. I've like ordered
3-pack of those or something. I don't know. Like this is where I don't understand where like they love their hand accessories, but they won't give us actual accessories.
Yeah. So and especially with stands, right? Because like you can't typically use the McFarlane ones or the NECA ones or even
wide,
like those Entertainment Earth ones. Yeah, they're not the right size, right? And it's fairly difficult to find, at least like on shelves somewhere, that you can easily get packs of stands that will fit their feet specifically. So it is interesting that Hasbro hasn't just put it's just another one of those easy money things, if they would just put out a 20 pack of stands, people are going to buy it, or you could just find somebody who 3D prints them and then go from there. But
I mean, or be like McFarlane and just include it with the figure, so he's not face down on my shelf all the friggin' time.
It's an option, yes.
Hey. Okay, I like this one. I don't need this one, but I like it.
I love the same, man.
Shield.
To be fair, I don't need most of these.
I love it.
But yeah, this cap looks great. That's right, Mike. Hey, Mike, welcome. You got to get the skates though. It's you know, if for nothing else, you got to buy that Iron Man for the skates.
So then you can put this Captain America here on skates.
Then you could put Captain America on
and
skates.
then you
Look
give him
at
the
him.
happy face right there, and he's like, "Yay!"
Thumbs up. Going to the roller rink,
And
listening
then he breaks
to
his shield because he fell down because he's like, I'm out of skill with the roller rink.
create your own story, right? That's exactly.
He's like, that's my secret war. I can't skate.
That's my own personal secret war.
Like, I can kick ass, but I cannot skate.
I can't skate.
Don't tell anyone.
I gotta hold on to the wall. It's fine. We've all been there. All right. Yeah, so he comes with the shield, broken shield. Looks good. I like it a lot. It's just a new thing to add to the collection, right? I've got a bunch of perfectly fine shields. In Dan Who's stream earlier, I think Rush said the same thing. It's like he has a bucket of shield. We all have a bunch of shields, right? So this is cool just to add a new thing. And it's gonna display well, and that's what I think is just a very cool aspect to it. Cap looks great. Love the light blue that they went with. I think it really just looks really nice.
Yeah, I like it too a lot. Yeah, the little
secret
like
wars. That's right.
I guess you call it what, feathering or embossing there on the body too is nice. That it gives it, it's not all flat. I don't know, is the shield like going to be pieces or like how does it work together?
Yes. So the way I don't know. I don't have it in hand, but like it doesn't seem like you're going to be able to piece that together, right? So you'll have the main part of the shield like in the one picture, and then you just kind of have two chunks.
So it's gonna like either interlock with like crappy plastic. I would think magnets would probably be the best.
It would be cool if it interlocked. I don't know if it's gonna interlock, but it would be awesome if it did.
So I only say interlocking because right there on the broken piece, like by the star, there's like that little gray hook. So I don't know if that's part of like the strap or an interlocking piece. That's the only thing I can see from this.
It could just be the clip on the back, but
yeah, exactly. It could be that too. But my thought was it would be cool to like, so say you had Cap fighting, I don't know, somebody and they break the shield. So you could have it like broken, breaking apart as he's being punched. That would be awesome if that would be possible. But I don't know. It looks like it's either gonna be, it's broken on the floor or he's gonna hold it.
I think Mike figured it out. Factory broke a mold and Hasbro was like, we got to use that. we got to use for that. So
boom.
That's exact. I think, hey, work smarter, not harder. We've got something for it. Yeah, let's go.
There you go. Engineering 101.
Probably my favorite reveal of this because it's Wolverine. So I'm gonna take whatever I can get.
That pose. He's like so smug. Fuck you. Like, just take away the outer two claws and he's going to give you the finger claw.
Exactly. So we're getting brown suit Wolverine on a pinless body finally, even though like we could have got one with the Brood Wolverine, but we didn't. So here we are though. Lighter scheme.
This one. It looks really good.
I like it, right? It looks very, very clean, very nice. You get an extra head, so you've got two expressions to work with, extra hands. Boom.
I would have preferred the faceless or one of them to be angry. Like smirk is great, but one of them need to be mad. Sorry, you got to have that with Wolverine. He's got Outside of that, it looks great. I like the color. Might be a little too caramelish color for me. I don't know. This is where like the comics, it might be perfectly accurate. So don't
like maybe it just doesn't translate as well into an action figure.
And I assume this is still a digital render, so who knows what it actually will look like finally. Oh, that's true. Good point, sir. Needs a cigar. Yeah, where's the cigar heads?
We're never gonna get a cigar. You gotta find smoking, right? You got to go on eBay or Etsy and find somebody who's casting those and just get one on your own. Or, make a cigar. And figure it out from there. But yeah, I
Mhm.
and I don't think there's any way, even in like an exclusive or a Comic-Con thing, there's no way Hasbro would ever give us that. But oh
So you
yeah,
could
so
work
there, yeah,
something if you
that's
got the
exactly Disney
cigar.
is
They
real
do
smart.
have the pistol effects with just the smoke. So you could get like
Yeah,
a
you could
tube
use that.
and just put that on the end, and it could be like, I don't know, just a thought. You could drill if you like. You could totally drill like into this Wolverine's like mouth and like jam it. You could
There's
make it work.
always an option. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, you could do that.
that's
I'll let
cool.
you do that with yours though, and then let me know how it goes, and then I'll figure it out from
We'll do.
there. And then the last of the Secret Wars wave that they announced was, of course, Black Suit Spider-Man. I don't think there was any. If you're gonna do this wave, this one had to be in there. There were some ones that could have been in the first wave that probably should have been in, but it just gives us opportunity to get subsequent waves, and for me that's just fine, right?
Yep.
Obviously they're going to omit Dr. Doom from this first wave because we just got it in that 2-pack with Monica last year. It would have been a shit move for them to do it this soon. Give it
Oh, dude, they're
a
gonna
little
hold it
bit of
out
space.
for the new movie too, right? For more Doom releases, even though if it might not be MCU, they're gonna try to keep it. I feel like they're gonna drop that once that more trailers are released and everything comes for the new MCU, like Secret Wars, right?
Yeah, so tie in like the next wave with the MCU going into Secret Wars. Yeah, I
Hmm.
think that's it. I think it makes a lot of sense. Um, Mike says if this is AF-15, I'm all in. And that from what they said in the stream, it's on the Amazing Fantasy body, right? Which for me is such a great Spider-Man body, right? So we got the Amazing Fantasy, both the inbox and then on the retro card, and then the Amazing Friends was also on that body. I did hear that they retooled the arms, so you won't get like the porthole for the web wing, which is great because you don't want a random hole that you don't need in an arm. So, um, a nice, like, slightly smaller buck for Spider Man and a really good one. So, I'm glad that they went with that one.
Yeah, I agree. And I know, like, what I think the last time they released it was with like what the retro card, at least like a classic
Yeah,
like
well,
black suit
yeah, there was like the
Spider-Man.
VHS 2-pack, which had like the blue cell shading, but the last like classic
Traditional was that one, and
symbiote
I know
Spidey
that was
was the
really
retro
hard to
card.
find and still is, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken. But
it's a popular figure. I mean, because it's on the retro card too, right? So that has its own separate audience. So
yeah,
that just doubles down on an already popular character. So
yeah. So it's nice that we're getting a re-release of this, and it looks like it comes with we got fist hands, wall crawling hands, and web shooting hands. So it's good. Where's the web? But hey.
Nomad, what's up? Yeah, well, you do get the. I like how you got the extra head, right? So the primary head has good size eyes like that, but then you get like the sort of more squinting eyes, which
Pissed
is
eyes, pissed off,
yeah
right?
a good option.
Or taking a dump eyes.
Could be that could be it. If you've got a 1/12 scale toilet, then you got options.
Hey man, these are the secret wars. You got to do what you got to
You
do.
gotta do what you gotta do. All right, so that was what they had revealed for the Secret Wars wave. So the one that we were all, I would say most people were aware that was going to be announced today. Um, I was really hopeful that there would be at least like one or two other big reveals, but we also have to understand that we've gotten into this cycle where it's like, all right, San Diego Comic Con happens, Pulsecon happens, then you've got New York Comic Con coming up, MCM. So a lot of big cons back to back to back. So they kind of have to spread stuff out. And then they just like sprinkle in reveals in between. So I get it. I mean, it limits some of the things. This would be probably the point of the year where we're going to see like whatever the HasLab would be. But since we're not doing the HasLab this year, you don't get that. Of course, Dragon Man is up for pre-order though, doing that sort of open pre-order window, which is great. So you have until October 17th, day before New York Comic Con, to do that if you want. So
No, and that's how it should be. I like the HasLabs every 2 years, especially with like multiple collectors. Like I don't collect like the Ghostbusters HasLab stuff like you, but like it gives you, like you say, your wallet a chance to recover and like, hey, okay, like I want to buy all this stuff. And I think it was just more, Hasbro realized they put out way too much, so it's like, hey, maybe we should scale it back, which is good. As I said in the start of the stream, less is more sometimes. Just give me good stuff, not a bunch of stuff. I want quality, not quantity at this point. If it was the start of the line, sure, give me a shit ton of shit.
Give me the quantity over quality.
No, man, come on. We're like, give me the stuff that I want. I know a lot of people complain about, this buck, this body, this pin. I don't care about that personally. Me, I just want a cool figure. I want new figures. I want figures that are inexpensive, or if they go to clearance, hey, thanks. I think it's good that Hasbro's focusing more on the good stuff and giving people what they want. Secret Wars, and we're going to get, like you say, get the Strange Tales. I don't think we mentioned that, but like, that line too. I really hope that line does well, with the Dracula and the Black Heart, all that, like, because there's a lot of potential there. And hopefully they tend to focus more on that instead of giving us all these superfluous characters that we really don't give a crap about.
Only time will tell. Damien, what's up? Yeah, so that's good. If you're in the UK, looks like Vulture and Spider-Man VHS 2-pack is already prepping to ship.
Oh, damn.
So I got to check that too. I pre-ordered today. So it looked like in the US, Kang was already available. So Kang should be shipping like immediately. I'm not sure about the Spider-Man Vulture 2-pack, so I got to look at that. But that's good. I am a fan of that. Like, announce it, drop it, ship it. I get it. You can't do that all the time, but sprinkle those in. I'm happy with that.
Oh, I agree, because especially in this day and age where nobody has any kind of attention span. Like, man, like if you're like, oh, we're gonna drop this, and then it's gonna be released 6 months from now. Okay, cool. I missed that because I totally didn't buy it because
time went on.
Exactly. Life went on. Yeah, like you said. Yeah. So I agree. I do questions like, because sometimes it seems like, oh, they're like, hey, we have this and we had it, and here it is. Boom. There you go. But then there's other stuff that everybody really wants. They're like, oh, it's gonna be released in like 8 months.
Here it is. There it was. There it went.
Yeah, just come on. Strike while the iron is hot, as the saying goes, right?
Yeah. All right. So back to the fan vote thing I was talking about earlier. So again, the chat was given the option to choose between Dwight's favorite, Ryan's favorite, or Dan's favorite. And then, it fluctuated fairly close. It seemed like I think Ryan Tang had the smallest vote at about 22% or something like that.
Do we know what theirs were or no?
No. So that's the thing, is like we don't know what all the figures were. We would only get the reveal for whoever won.
Hey, maybe do all three.
So there have been years past where they kind of give you a silhouette of what it is, and then you figure it out from there. This year it was just pick whoever and then you'll get it.
Okay.
Dan Yoon's ended up winning, and it was Nightcrawler. So you have Uncanny Nightcrawler, Age of Apocalypse Nightcrawler. So it's a Nightcrawler, so it's cool. I'm gonna put this in my X-Force display, right? It's got the great black and gray suit, so I'm okay with it. But I'm the guy who's like just so curious about what those other two were. Like I almost want it to be like, hey, here's 3 characters, and then put that to the
Vote.
poll.
Yeah.
But I fear that that might just take a turn, and then you get stuck with another Wolverine or Spider-Man. Of course, Wolverine I'm going to be okay with. Spider-Man I'll ultimately be okay with, but I want to see some other random things, right? And I'm curious about what Dwight's was. I voted for Dwight's. I did not obviously succeed in that, but yeah. So we are going to get this. I like it. I'm just curious what the others were.
Yeah, same.
That's true, Justin. That's true. That is the only bad thing. It is instant wallet murder. But I don't know. There was no but to that. There was no saving grace. It is literally just that. Let's see. Well, we've gone Vulture and Wolverine for Justin. Happy to wait. Yeah. Oh, how? Okay, so Damien said, "How are you guys with the big characters ordering setup like Dragon Man? Still prefer BAFs or both offerings?" So yeah, I mean, I like the Dragon Man system, and I do hope that like that continues to be a thing. I don't necessarily want it to replace HasLabs. I still want the option of HasLabs, but it doesn't have to be every year. HasLab, it should just be something special that is a big project if they're going to continue to do it, and then just do it right. As far as like the Dragon Man thing, you're going to do bigger characters. I like the open window, keep it for several weeks, gives people plenty of time. And, kind of if you miss out, then unfortunately you miss out, but you had a lot of opportunity to do it. Now, it's not good for anybody coming in later on, but you could say the same for anything. A figure that came out 10 years ago isn't readily available. A figure that came out a year ago might not be readily available. So, that is not something you can really measure, but I like the system, and hopefully it works out, and hopefully we get some more down the line. But to your point about BAFs, like I definitely don't want to lose BAF waves. We've been very devoid of BAF waves this year, right? I think we have 2, 3, not many at all. We're used to several BAF waves in a year, and we've like severely cut down on that. So what does the future of BAF waves look like? What does next year look like for BAF waves? Maybe we get a few more. Maybe we get, a sort of resurgence in BAF waves next year to sort of compensate, but who knows? The overall idea might be just to phase them out. Ultimately, it's cheaper, you would think, right, to just eliminate the BAF wave. You can sell people a retro card for the same price. So why would you put the extra effort into a BAF wave?
Yeah, especially now when you have people where you can deluxe, right? And for 30, 40, whatever, and most people will buy it. I like the BAF wave. I think it should depend on what you want to put out, but at the same time, I guess I'm okay with phasing it out because I like the whole deluxe buying versus having to buy 3 to 4 figures in a wave that I don't want.
Yeah, so that's the key argument, I think.
Yep. So I save the plastic, save the money. As far as HasLab goes, I stated it before. Every other year, so I think that would help at least Legends wise. Everything else, I have no opinion on, but like they need to spread it out. It comes down to like the supply and demand. Like people want certain things, and then you guys are putting out a bunch of stuff that we don't want. Eternals, stuff like that. Like just give us what we want, produce enough of it, and if 1 or 2 of them becomes rare, that's fine. But like trying to seek out like a whole wave, including a Build-A-Figure wave that like I can't even find in stores. I'm talking about the Zabu wave, by the way. I don't know about you, but it's been hard to find for me. At least specific ones. So
yeah. Well, so that's the other thing is like
more consistency with that if you're gonna continue it. So that's where I'm with canceling it, because I'm just like, I'd rather just get the deluxe online. If I have to pay 10 extra bucks, sure, but then it's better than paying what, $70 extra for 3 figures that I could give 2 shits about.
Yeah, but so that's to your point about the Zabu wave, is like all the Build-A-Figure waves have been fan channel this year, so it's not like everything was hitting mass retail, right? So obviously, and it's no surprise, right? Last year it was a lot of overproduction, a lot of things came out, a lot of things went to deep clearance, a lot of things are ending up at Ollie's. So the math, the smart math to that is to contract, right, and produce less. So we're getting less, things are going to less retailers, there are more exclusives, so you got to kind of move things around, and that's the period we're in at the moment. So yeah, I mean, it really does like lean into where we're headed as far as BAF waves go. If this year is any indication, right? So we didn't have a single mass retail BAF wave.
Mhm.
All right, I'm going to catch up on the chat real quick. All right, so yeah, Justin said he's bummed about the VHS 2-packs because there were so many great figures left. Yeah, exactly, right. So as we mentioned earlier, like for me, Punisher specifically, Nick, Blade, but even more than that, I mean, you got like animated series Chameleon.
Chameleon is a huge, like, what the hell, man? Like, you guys did a bunch of these retro waves and you missed that one? Like, what the fuck? Sorry for the language, but I think it deserves it.
See, yeah, and Damien said agree. As said before, maybe not the end, release one set every now and then. Yeah, so I do think, as Nick said, quantity over quality, spread it out a little bit, give me less things but better things.
Yep.
Oh yeah, animated Mysterio too. I mean, there's so many animated that was such a great series, and there's so many characters throughout that series, and crossover characters too. They could definitely keep that alive for some time. Maybe take a year off, and then, as I said at the beginning, just kind of sprinkle them out. It doesn't have to be 2 a year or whatever, 3 a year, 1 a year, something like that. Just kind of put them out as you see fit. The last thing that they talked about on the stream, they had a little tease, all right, as they tend to do. They showed this squished face. Now, I only threw up one picture here because this was like the best picture of them all, but it's essentially like a sort of squished face. Now, a lot of what's circling around the internet today is
the Twitter sphere.
The Twitter sphere. Chameleon, taking the mask off. Dan, who talked about it earlier, we were all in the stream there, talking about how, in the smoking jacket. So that was part of the leak list that we talked about a couple of weeks ago, right? Like that was one of the figures on there. So maybe this leans into that. I don't know. I'm curious as to what it could be other than that, though. That seems to be the popular theory at the moment, but I'm very curious about other theories of what this might be.
It looks like a melted MCU cable head, and he like had to take a dump.
That's a good point. So yeah, actually at first I was like, it does kind of look like
he's got
Josh,
the hair. Man. That's
Josh Brolin's cable
is
figure.
giving
Yeah,
me the cable
the way the hair was there. I'm assuming it's not, but yeah,
I would welcome like a deluxe. Give me a deluxe chameleon with like 5 fucking heads. Boom, sold.
Sold. Bring it on. There were some people though in some posts on Facebook groups and stuff who were saying that maybe it's All right, so from X-Men, when Senator Kelly or
Oh yeah, he was like turning into Plastic Man or Rubber Man or whatever, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That seems pretty hopeful and far stretched. So I think we're better.
You'd also have to get Bruce Greenwood's likeness or whatever that actor's name was.
It is the thousands from Spider-Man. Yeah, you have to get a better actor, right? But
I'm gonna go with Rubberhead Cable.
okay, so Nick's going with Rubberhead Cable, which is all right.
Horrible.
We don't like it. Yeah, I think it's if it's not Chameleon, everybody, I'm gonna, I gotta think about this for some time, but I think it just makes the most sense to be Chameleon, right? Like he's taking off the mask and then he's gonna have several heads, like we talked about in the leak list, doing something like that, and in the smoking jacket, and yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see what else this might be.
I agree.
But yeah, so that was our leak list, or not our leak list, sorry. That was the Pulsecon reveals for the day. So like I said at the beginning, a little bit lighter than I hoped. I mean, most of us were expecting Secret Wars to be announced anyway. The Vulture kind of had some leaks online, but we weren't sure if that was a legit leak or a custom figure. I was hoping to see maybe just one other like big reveal on the day, and that didn't come to fruition. But
Maybe a
I'm
deluxe.
very excited.
Nice.
Yeah, maybe like a deluxe figure or something. But
Something.
I think we'll have some cool stuff announced at New York Comic Con. So maybe they're just saving it for then.
That's my guess as well.
Yeah, same, Mike. I'm hoping for that smoking jacket. I mean, in theory, we already have that older Chameleon from what Rhino Wave that's in the suit. So yeah, we don't need another one of those.
Agreed.
Yeah, exactly, Damien. But yeah, so love to know what you guys think about the reveals for the day. Nick, any hot thoughts on the reveals?
No, I think I said most of my thoughts during. Just wish there was a deluxe. Yeah, deluxe, but like maybe the deluxe is the Chameleon. I don't know. That'll be awesome. I would love to see, like I said, the Chameleon with like 5-6 different heads.
All the heads that were missing, right?
Some crazy stuff. And it would follow because Hasbro did in the GI Joe line. They did a Destro that was like that had all these different faces that you could change it to. No, not Destro, Zartan, sorry. So he has all the different faces you could change into and all this extra stuff. It ended up being like a convention exclusive. So watch, they'll probably reveal that for New York Comic Con or something, most likely.
Yeah, Mike, exactly. Like it just all the reveals today were a little short. It just felt like there was just one more was needed. And I think a lot of that leans into how we kind of already knew what was going to be announced. It was like, I don't think there were any major surprises today. The only surprise was the fan vote one, but that was going to be a surprise anyway, because it's a fan vote. So you don't know what that's going to be until it happens. Right. So,
yep.
Yeah. So that, I mean, overall, it was a good stream, good reveals, but left a little bit to be desired, I guess is all.
I don't mind that per se. Like it does feel a little slightly empty, but
they keep you coming. That's how they keep you
right?
coming back, right? Exactly. They leave you wanting a little. I know it's all. They know it. They know what they're doing. They got it.
Yep.
Oh, that's true. Mike said Deadpool movie team is pipeline. They did, yeah. So I mean, there's definitely like some stuff in the pipeline, and
and it's not going to sell as well as the stuff that came out with the actual movie because it's too late. But we'll see. I don't know.
I don't know.
Deadpool, Wolverine stuff will probably sell just fine.
Deadpool and Wolverine always sell. So, they so Dwight and Ryan were in the stream, and Dwight was basically like, "Let me make the rest of the team, rest of the characters from Deadpool and Wolverine." Right. So, I would love to see that, like, all of the other folks that were revealed in the movie. It would be cool to get, as much as I've gotten away from like MCU or any Marvel movie figures. I would probably still, I would probably still go in on those.
So no, it's classified as MCU, but that's probably the least MCU movie to exist. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it was like I mean, it's the bridge between Fox and MCU, right? And it had
It's
some of that like Fox feel, era, but with the MCU je ne sais quoi, I guess. I don't know. We'll go with that, right?
Yeah, exactly. That same feel and vibe, but yeah, it's good. Do more like that. Well, I don't know. It's hard to do like that, but we'll see. Let's see what they come up with from here on out. I'm ready. It should be R-rated properties, but they're not going to do that because it's Disney.
Well, I would hope that based on the success of Deadpool and Wolverine, that they are more open to it.
I would hope so.
So Damien had a question for the group, and I'll tell you off the bat, Damien, I actually didn't have any of the original Secret Wars figures, but can you remember what original Secret Wars you had, if any? The original was my first ever Marvel toy given to me at age 5. So like I didn't have any of the original Secret Wars figures. I started collecting Marvel stuff in the early 90s with like the original like Toy Biz like 5-inch line, right? So all of those like classic ones that came out in the 90s that were starting to get like the retro cards based on in the last few years. But yeah, that was definitely something I never was able to like get as a kid. But for me, like looking back on them, I don't know, like Daredevil was always a cool one, just looked good. But I mean, it's always gonna like go back to Wolverine for me. Yeah, I mean, it's always gonna go back to Wolverine. I don't know, but Nick, did you have any of those?
I did not. So I think I had what I had, at least back in the day, was like the 10-inch ones, the big tall ones that they put out. Not Secret Wars per se, but just like I've never been a big comic reader, despite the collection. I always just liked the characters. But yeah, so I remember I think my mom got me, I want to say it was like Silver Surfer, like that 10-inch, I think Toy Biz line or whatever.
Yeah.
And I had a bunch of those ones, and then I collected the Overpower cards, which is how I got into like all the characters and everything before the movies existed. So yeah, I despite them being a comic property, I've never been a big comic person, so I don't know if that offers a different perspective. But none of the original Secret Wars figures, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I mean, because like they came out like 1980, 80. They're the early 80s, right? So I mean, I was born in the mid 80s, so it wasn't quite collecting at that point. But definitely for me, it was the Toy Biz figures from the early 90s, along with those 10-inch ones though too. Like I know we're getting off subject here, but like I had I remember from the 10-inch ones, there was a Spider-Man that had suction cups on his hands, so you could like, stick them to the wall, which as a kid, you're easily pleased.
It's
so
amazing.
it's quite fascinating, right? So hey, yeah.
Yeah, so I had Iron Man, War Machine, Silver Surfer, and then as an adult I bought the Thing because I remembered I had a dream that existed, and then I finally found it in real life, and I was like, I gotta buy this because this was in my dream.
We gotta buy this.
But yeah, apparently like a whole line of all those. It's like, oh, Mysterio, all the Spider-Man villains. I want all those, but I don't have the room.
Exactly. And now they're just everywhere.
Yeah, there you
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate you coming and talking about the reveals today. I appreciate everybody hanging out.
And joining in. Thank you for the
Yeah.
conversation.
Oh, yeah. Before we go, though, there was the cap blasting Punisher. That was awesome. So you could put like the caps in the back of Punisher, and then you remember like those like the reels of
Yeah,
caps,
like the
right?
little things that like pop the cap gun. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was you'll never get anything like that these days, but that was badass. Yeah, I remember that. That was cool.
No, it'll be like social justice Punisher, and he like throws confetti. Woo!
So with that said, do appreciate everybody hanging out. Of course, feel free to check out the rest of the channel. Plenty of reviews of action figures, plenty of this. This is now episode 5. So we're still at the beginning. We're still getting this down, but there are some other episodes out there to watch. We've also got a podcast with our friend Kyle called Me and the Dudes. So that's out there. We talk about random things, including movies, music, random years, random topics. Just a good time. So again, until the next one, I will turn it over to our good friends, Bill and Ted.
Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes!
Awesome.